the founder of The Kitchen, Jared Paul, and co-host of the Pickleballers podcast alongside Roscoe Bellamy. Jared, I'm going to start with you. First of all, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
There's a partnership here with Pickleball TV, but before we get into the partnership, I want to talk about how this podcast came about. Were you calling Roscoe? I mean, what was the plan behind it? And now it's been very successful.
I stalked Roscoe, I'd say, for about a year. And, you know, The Kitchen, we've had a couple of podcasts over the years. We had one with Anna and Dylan that the production quality wasn't great. They were always on the road. And then Jason Aspis and I had kitchen conversations, and that was pretty good. But I wanted to do something in person. I felt like that wasn't really being done in the sport. And I hit up Roscoe and I said, hey, we should do a podcast. And he was a little reluctant at first. I think, you know, he's one of my best friends, and, you know, you mix the friendship with business, it can go awry, but he finally decided to jump on board, and so it's been pleasantly surprising, the success of it so far.
And Roscoe, you're not just on the business side of pickleball. You have a full-time career on tour. You're top 10 in the world in singles. You're in tomorrow's quarterfinal. How is it to balance booking guests, being on this show? It becomes a full-time job, and then you've grown a lot already as an interviewer. How has that process been?
Yeah, I think that's definitely, for me, the hardest part, right? I'm basically doing 2 different jobs, but I think it's okay, especially at 25 years old, to work really hard on the court and then work really hard off the court. I think that's part of you know, my job now, and I love my life. I'm lucky to be doing this, so I don't look at it as like, you know, I mean, sometimes, look, it definitely becomes very stressful, and, you know, we've definitely, like, talked about this a lot, but I guess from a perspective, or from my perspective, it's something I'm lucky to be doing. And then in terms of being an interviewer, I think I just have always liked listening to people's stories, and that's really what this podcast is about. Originally, we thought it was going to be, you know, very goofy and funny, and it would be a lot of, like, Jared and I's kind of jokey conversations, but it's really become about our guests and their stories and their backgrounds, and, you know, we all share this this love for the game and how we all got there in the first place.
It airs on Monday, so we are not done with the Masters. Make sure you guys stick around because it airs 7 p.m. Eastern on the 19th. But what was that conversation like, and how excited are you to get this full-time now on PBTV?
For sure. Super excited. It's been, I'd say, 6 months in the making. And, you know, PBTV is an iconic brand in the sport. We have, you know, we've done well on YouTube and on socials, but we really wanted to extend the reach, and so we're lucky and honored and grateful to be on PBTV, and I'm excited just to be able to get the player stories out in front of some new folks.
Well, we're excited 100%. For that. And you guys have had some really big names, Annalie Waters, Jeannie Bouchard, so we're looking forward to a couple other big names you guys are getting out there. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Paul, Roscoe Bellamy.